What's going on, everybody? My name is AC, and today we got a videographer, soon to be legend, man. This guy is all over the place, man, multi languages, you know what I'm saying, and going crazy. We got Jack Nine Films in the building. What's up, man?
What's good? What's good? What's good? Oh shit! I get the hand clap. I get the hand clap.
What's going on, man? What's good with you?
I'm good here working. You know what I mean? Coincidentally, man, I know I hit you up the other day, and
Mhm.
you was actually the inspiration to me starting those what I call mini inspirational clips on Instagram. I was like, yo, that's pretty dope. I was like, I don't know if I have time for a whole podcast kind of thing, but I really like the whole mini thing.
Right.
So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it looks really good. And let's just start with that then. So you came to this. We're gonna reverse it after this and go back to where we started.
Okay.
So you came to this point in your career where you're at the point where you can give knowledge to people comfortably, and
Yeah.
it's valid information. What brought you to this point where you feel like you don't have to give the game, but you do? What brought you to that point?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, you can't just be taken from the universe. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? Like, I've been blessed to do what I love for a living. There ain't too many people on this planet that could say that.
right.
And I just think that it would be very selfish of me if I didn't drop jewels to people, if I couldn't, you know, giving doesn't have to be monetary.
Mm,
You know, a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire and I'm going to be able to give to charity. All that's beautiful. But sometimes, you know, dropping knowledge can make a next millionaire instead of
right.
giving money.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? But more importantly than that, than money, because, you know, it's really about this not being selfish, man. Like, people tend to be scared. Oh, yo, I ain't giving away my jewels because of the insecurities that they may have. They be thinking, oh, I actually get a lot of flack for it. I've gotten a couple
really?
inboxes. Yeah, man, I've gotten a couple inboxes, little WhatsApps here and there. Yo, don't be giving away too much because you could jack up the business, this and that. And my answer to them is, you do realize that number one, I'm the living example of learning everything on the internet.
Right. Exactly.
Number two, everything is on the internet. If you really
Uh-huh.
want to know something, and if you really want to be knowledgeable about something and learn anything, I learned how to change oil on a fucking,
Right. It's not a
YouTube. You know what I'm
secret. There's
saying?
no secret to it.
There's no secret. So I just, people just insecure. I'm not insecure. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? I don't walk around with these insecurities. Other directors be like, oh, but I'm saying though, it's competition. Like, there's no competition. Like, you guys are so worried. There's enough money for, especially now in the time that we're living in. We're living at the most powerful time for independent artists, creators, people like yourself, where we don't gotta like remember when we were like, oh, I want to be on the radio.
Right.
Oh, I want to do
We are the
this.
radio.
Oh, I want to do. We are.
Right.
Like, you got a microphone in front of you and you
Right.
feeding people. You know what I'm saying? Not only
Right.
that, are you dropping jewels? You know, I see that you and not only do you interview, but you also critique, but you do it in a way where it's not disrespectful.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that's the main thing on my end too. Like, I want to critique people, but oh, you whack. Nah, I'm not trying to tell you that you whack. This is what you need to do to improve yourself.
Exactly.
Now, if you don't take my advice and you don't improve yourself, all right, there's gonna be a point that you whack.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because now you're
Yeah,
getting the information and you're still doing it.
yeah,
You're just whack. It's just who you are.
yeah. I can't help you after that. You know what I mean? I
Right.
can try to get you out of the whackness. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, but like I said, man, you can't be taking away from this universe, even if it's what you're taking is a good thing,
Mhm.
and without passing along, man. It's called planting seeds, man. You
Right.
got to plant seeds in this world. So, for the last 12 years, I can't believe it's going to be 12 years in October that I've been doing this.
Wow.
But yeah, I really wholeheartedly believe in planting those seeds.
And I love that, man. Like you said, you can't just keep taking from the universe. You have to give back, and that just when you give back, it comes right back to you again. So
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely, 100%. I get a lot. Be honest with you, I take a lot of interns. You know, people be hitting me up all the time. They'll DM me, they'll find my, my number's public. I don't hide my
Yeah.
number. I have the same number for the last 24 years.
Oh wow.
So yeah, literally that phone number's been 24 years. So I don't hide my number from nobody. I want everybody to, you know, I want to be approachable, and, people get to know me, you know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
take a lot of interns. You're like, oh, can I intern with you for a video? Yeah, sure, come on. No
Uh,
problem. Yeah,
and a lot of
you
people are
know.
scared to, like you said, people say that, oh well, then there's going to be a competition. I feel like if you know, like you said, insecure. If you're secure about what you're doing and you know, okay, you can't do it how I do it anyway, so I'll give it to you and you do it your own way, then it's like everybody
But
can
but
eat.
but but isn't that what life is about? Like, it's taking something from before and
Mhm.
making it your own. How many car companies there are there? How many, you got Coke, you got Pepsi, you got this, you got that.
Right.
You got so many companies. You got how many, you got speakers behind you. How many speaker companies there are? You know what I mean?
And
Um,
they could look at it as competition, but little really in reality is it's helping each other benefit off. You're giving someone choices at this point.
yeah.
So let's get into this then. So you said 12 years, so 2009, Jack
Yeah.
9. How did it all start? Were you always into photography, videography?
No, actually, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like, I had no interest, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
I had no interest. I had a camera laying on the floor, all dusty. I had lost my job at Wells Fargo. I used to work for the bank.
Wow.
And yeah, this was back in January 2009, coincidentally during the last economic crisis. I don't know
Oh,
if people
yep.
want to call I don't know if people want to call what's happening now economic crisis. I mean, yeah, we did go through a crisis. It did affect people economically.
Exactly. Yep.
Um, but I think it was a little bit worse back then. At least I think so, my personal opinion.
Mhm.
But so I was just kind of laying around, and my business partner now, Carlos, he came to the house with Further. I don't know if you heard of Further.
Yep. I see.
Um, yeah, so he was a teenager at the time, and he's like, "Hey, man, let's do a music video." I'm like, "Huh?" Like literally, that's how it happened, and kind
Wow.
of forced my hand to do this video. We did this shitty ass video, but people around the Lehigh Valley, they gravitated to it. They were like, "Hey, man, how much?" I'm like, "Hold on, y'all pay me for this? Let me
Wow.
reevaluate this whole thing." Um, so what I did was I checked to see how much unemployment I had left, because at that time I was collecting. See,
Mhm.
I'll keep it 100. I tell people, yeah, I was collecting when I first started.
Yep. And that's good for
But
everybody to hear, though.
yeah, so I what I did was I went online. I calculated how much unemployment I would have left. So if I, added up how much I would have left plus whatever I could, gain doing a couple videos here and there, I could buy better equipment. You know what I mean? And that's what I did. And I had a friend in Allentown as well help me out get my first DSLR camera, because before I had an older camera, but my first DSLR camera was by the name of Philip Banks. I don't know if you ever heard of him. Very good friend of mine. He's no longer an artist. He's a father. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
mean, he's always gonna be an artist, but
Right. Right.
right now he's a businessman, father, above all.
Mhm.
And amazing dad, amazing husband. But he was the one that I would say believed in me, and he actually purchased my first DSLR camera, and I did a deal with him, and we knocked out some videos and stuff. And
Oh, so he was an artist and he basically got you the camera and said, well, listen, you shoot my videos and
yeah, and I was like, you know what, man, I need the
wow.
DSLR, and because that was the wave, like, yo, you got to get a DSLR. That was about a year later after I started, so I was 2010.
Mhm.
And then summer 2010 comes when unemployment runs out. I stacked up just enough to kind of like, all right, a little cushion, pay some bills, buy a little better equipment. Obviously, not what I've amassed now,
Right.
but you know, definitely enough to get by. And then I just started going to work, man. Like that was it.
So
I
after
wasn't
that, did
really.
you get another job or were you just straight all off of camera work?
Everything else has been. I have not worked another job since.
Wow.
Yeah, I had like since January. Well, January 2009, I lost my job. I started the video thing October 2009. So since October 2009 until June, right now, 2021, this is all I've done.
That's amazing. And that's
Yeah.
so would you say at the time when you started that, would you consider that having no money? Because a lot of people feel like since they don't have enough, maybe, oh man, the camera's like $3,000, good camera's $3,000. What am I gonna do? Then I gotta buy the lens. Like, what would you say to someone that's in a financial situation where they can't make it, they can't purchase it, but they have this dream and they do have an eye, they get take great phone cameras,
Right.
phone pictures.
Well, see, here's the thing, man. I honestly believe that when there's a will, there's a way. So you got to reevaluate. You got to audit your life. So when I hear the excuse, "Oh, I don't have it," or "I don't have this," "I don't have that," it's like, well, take a look at your expenses. Take really a good look at your expenses.
Oh.
Like, sit down and realize, like, all right, what is it that I can cut out? What is it that I really don't need? I mean, let's keep it real.
Money's
We're in
going
the
somewhere.
yeah, the money going somewhere. So let's see. You're buying how many J's every year? You don't need that many J's. There's only 2 feet on your feet. You know what I'm saying? You have clothing. Do you really need that much clothes? We could go. Some people got a weed habit. You know what I mean? Do you really need to smoke that much weed?
Right.
I could go on. Do you want to pop bottles every weekend?
Right.
I hear the excuses. This is not just only from directors or upcoming videographers. I hear those excuses that I don't have the money.
Right.
But I also hear that from artists. Hey, I don't have the money to market myself. But yo, bro, I just saw you buy a pair of sneakers last week. They were like $300 or whatever. Yep. You could have used that $300 and got yourself like 40, 50,000 views on YouTube. Do you understand what I'm saying? You could have got yourself 100,000 Spotify streams. You know what I'm saying? You could have done this, you could have done that. So I'm just not one with excuses. Yep. Like I'm not that topic really hits home to me. I hate that topic because I get aggravated when I see people that they say I don't got it. No, or you don't. No, yeah, oh, they can't. No, you can't. No, it's the same type of people that I hear when they say, "Oh, I can't do this because of my kids." No, you're supposed to do it because you have kids.
I'm glad you brought that up. Because
you're supposed to do it.
A lot of people get comfortable with that because it's a great excuse. But
it's a great excuse if you use it the right way, AC.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying I wouldn't use the excuse.
You're using it the right way. You're saying, hey, I'm gonna build something so my children will be good. Yeah. See, when you use the excuse as your kids saying, I can't do something because of my kids, that means you are basically saying, I'm going to fail for my children.
Wow.
And I hate that, yo. I'll be arguing that. I have so many people that I grew up with personally, that I grew up with, that, they'll have conversations. How did you do it? How did you do it? You got kids, is that. First of all, I have a supportive wife. That helps. First and foremost.
That's
what I mean?
The one.
So first and foremost, I got that. So good. I'm blessed to have that. Not everybody has that. But even so, like, I use my kids and my family as fuel because we got to break the chain and we got to break the cycle. I have done things that I probably, as a child, me personally, as a kid, as a child and as a teenager, that I only dreamed of. Like, oh yeah, I never thought I'd be traveling around this planet, doing what I love, seeing things that from where I'm from, I'm originally from the Bronx and obviously from Allentown. Yep. You get closed-minded. You get that the 4 walls, because you feel it's just 4 walls around you and you don't see nothing else. And man, the world is beautiful. Mm-hmm. Fuck what you heard. People will tell you all this bullshit. Oh, the world is fucked up. No, it's not. Okay. Like, the world is how you look at it. I view the world as a beautiful place, because that's what I look for.
People that, not to cut you off, but people that say that, I feel like it's because they only see what's given on TV. Me, I haven't traveled the world. I only been up and down the East Coast of the United States. But like, people say the world's fucked up because that's all we see on on TV. But if you actually go there, it's like you said, it's I'm assuming it's beautiful.
Bro, I've been to some places where people are like, yo, I can't believe you went there. I'm like, yeah, man, and I had an amazing time, and the people treated me like the love that I got was phenomenal and
Hmm.
genuine, and you could feel it, because I embraced their culture, I embraced their way of being.
Right.
You know, some of the best places I've ever been to have been some of the poorest places in the world.
Mm.
Those are the places that I have the fondest memories of.
And why
You
is
know,
it more of the people?
because once you embrace people's culture, you know what I mean.
Hmm.
What? All right, let me put it this way. I mean, there was one time I went to Kingston, Jamaica,
Hmm.
and I'll never forget it. Like there was this 90-something-year-old lady, and I know that this lady, especially where I was at, which was a place called Waterhouse. Waterhouse is any Jamaican will tell you, you was at Waterhouse. They look at me like I'm crazy. Um, but they're like, wow, you really stomped through those grounds. That takes a lot of like guts because that's straight like gangster area
Okay.
and is very poor. And this 90-year-old lady, I remember she offered me food and she gave
Wow.
me a beautiful, and she gave me rice, peas, chicken, whatever. Um, and it was the best tasting shit in the world. She didn't ask for money. It wasn't about money. It was about she just wanted me to enjoy it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Exactly.
And I know that plate that she made came from a real place of love.
Like the
You
food was
know,
made with love.
the food was made with love, and the way she gave it to me with that beautiful smile on her face
Mm.
and that genuine warm heart, and then the hug that I gave her and I embraced her with afterwards.
Mm.
You can't buy that kind of thing, and it's because again I embraced their culture. I embraced them. I didn't look down on them. I loved them. You know what I mean? I was walking around by myself. People were like, "Oh, you really bold for doing this." I'm like,
Right.
"No, like I if you really show the kind heart person that you are, if you really show the goodness in your heart, man, that resonates." And people start letting their guard down. They'll be like, "You know what? Nah, that's a good person."
Mm.
And then you bring out the good in people. You really do, man. I've been to the richest places in the world, and some of those people are the ugliest people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They all snobby and all that. I'm like, yo, get me out of here, man. Take
Right.
me to where I need to be. You know what I'm saying?
And that just goes to saying uh like you get what you give. Like you give that out, that energy, and you get it back. But
Yeah.
certain like you said, rich places where they're just like they don't even give a fuck what you giving them. They just get out of here.
Yeah, man. It's whack, you know what I mean? So um really again, it's the energy of the universe that I keep talking about. I
Mm.
know that's so cliche to say, man, but I really, really wholeheartedly believe in that.
Yep.
Wholeheartedly,
It's
you
because that's
know?
the best way to explain it because it's more of a feeling. So it's like you can't
Hmm.
really express the feeling, but it sucks we can't have the perfect word for it because I circle back to that a lot through my podcast and everything and life is how much energy is important and how much the universe works in your life if you let it. And it's like, yeah, it sounds cliche, but that's what it is. Like that's exactly what it is. And a lot of people
Yeah.
don't understand that.
No, and the people that don't tend to say, "Oh, you can't do this."
Mm-hmm.
Nah, you can't do that. I heard a lot of that.
Yep.
Man, when I first started this thing, bro, I had to cut a lot of people off, even if it was just temporary.
Right.
I didn't cut them out permanently, but I cut them out temporarily because those are people that were just going to distract the journey.
Yep.
So I'm like, I can't be distracted right now. They'll catch up eventually, and a lot of them did. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of those people that be like, oh, you weren't there from the beginning. Oh, you know what? Fuck you. He
Right.
wasn't there from the beginning. I'm not like that.
Yep.
I'm like, you know what? I understand that you didn't get it, and you didn't get it because you were scared for me.
Mm-hmm.
You were scared for yourself because you're afraid to try something, but
Right.
you was also scared for me because hope because they genuinely deep down care about you.
Right.
They just express it in the wrong
They
way.
don't see
So
it.
they
They don't see it.
right,
You see it.
right. So I had to have super tunnel vision when I started this um and surround myself with like-minded people
Mm-hmm.
and I mean here we are, man. You know what I mean? Like again, I still sometimes be bugging out like, wow, this is real,
Right.
you
And
know.
that's and this career path started in Allentown.
That's right,
So
Allentown, Pennsylvania,
the most of you,
610.
right. And most of your videos all started there in the Allentown, Bethlehem,
Hmm.
Easton area. What was your growth from it? Like what were you like, okay, I grew out of this. Like what part of your career was like, I grew out of this and I gotta go. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I started noticing, I started getting opportunities outside of Allentown. And Allentown meaning Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton, Reading, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the whole that particular area.
Yep.
I started getting way more work in 2012. People started realizing like who I was outside of that area. It took a couple trips to Puerto Rico where, you know, the artists over there were like, hey man, we like your style. We like it. It's not like how they do it over here.
Right.
They wanted something a little bit more Americanized. They wanted something a little, the eye to be a little bit different than what they had over there. So, you know, they used to be like, yo, go get the guy with the American flow. I'm like, okay. So that was me. Um, you know, and then I got close with De La Ghetto. I knew De La, you know, I don't know if anybody's Spanish out there that listens, but De La Ghetto, you know, he's a big artist.
Mhm.
I got cool with him in 2008 before the video thing. And so he was kind of like my leeway into the Spanish market. Not that I purposely, you know, so I'm gonna attach myself to him. It was an organic thing.
Just
We just have
happened.
yeah, it was an organic friendship. I know, you know, I don't ask for favors. People just tend to just like, yo, come on. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure. You know,
And that
whatever, you
back
know,
to energy.
yeah, you know, if it feels right, I'll do it. If it doesn't, I won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So then Yengo Flow was another one that gave me, I would say, the first big opportunity. And what I liked about it is that it ended up being in Allentown, Pennsylvania in
Mm.
2012, where that video was shot, and it caught like 30 something million views or something like
Uh,
that. And I would say after that is where the opportunities started coming much more.
Now, was that your first Spanish, like when you first started getting into Spanish videos? Or because I noticed you had a transition of you just started mainly doing Spanish reggaeton videos. Was there a
Bro,
reason for that transition?
I would love to do English. I would love to do it, but they don't hit me up.
They
They
don't-
just don't. Bro, I don't know what it is. And I speak English. It's not
Uh-huh.
like I do a little bit of Spanglish on my social media, but
Uh-huh.
the truth of the matter is like my love is in the English market.
Uh-huh.
And to be honest with you, my love is in the reggae market. You know what I mean? Like I
Mhm.
love reggae, I love dancehall, but
Okay.
it's just I again I don't argue with the universe. The universe says, hey, this is where you're gonna be at. All right, that's where you want me. And to be honest with you, that's where I've seen like all of my, you know, like my greatest successes. You know what I mean? You know, like you know, seeing, you know, at this point is billions and billions and billions of views. You know, like
Right.
forget millions. We're way past 5 billion now. You
Right.
know, which is kind of crazy because I start thinking about it, like, yo, all right, so 5 billion people have seen something I've done. There's like 7 point something billion people on this planet. I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
It's almost everybody.
I'm like, yo, it's like, I'm like, there's a lot of repeats, I guess, but it's still kind of weird. It's still kind of weird.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize because social media, man, it really makes the world smaller.
Mm.
So I didn't realize how much of an impact I was having on people. Obviously, you know, back home, you know, people hit me up, yo, you're doing great, you know,
Mhm.
giving me the fuel and all that and showing me love. And of course, I live now in the, you know, Orlando area and St. Cloud, and same thing, people show me love. But when you travel to a completely different country and you're eating in the restaurant in the lobby and you got a bunch of teenagers banging on the window saying your name,
Wow.
I'm like, that's where I was like, huh? And so I, you know what I mean? This is in Ecuador, and I go outside and the security guard didn't want to let him in the hotel. They were like, Jack, 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 Jack. And I'm like, you do realize I'm just a video guy, right? And
I'm not the rapper.
yo, they're pulling out their phones, they're showing me all
Wow.
the videos I've done. So, these are what we call super fans,
Mhm.
Back in my day, you know, when we used to go buy CDs and tapes at the record stores, the first thing that we always used to do is like, I used to open up the credits and I used to see who produced it because that's how much engulfed I was in the culture
Right.
that I would go see the credits and I would go see who produced it. I would even go as far as like, yo, what studio they used,
Right.
like,
That's
and
crazy.
so nowadays, it's the same thing. It's just that they're just seeing the name on the video.
Right.
They're following you on the Instagram. As soon as I do a video with like a big artist, I know, or we're dropping one this Friday. It's like 7 artists,
Okay.
but I already see the influx of hits that I'm getting on my Instagram because people be like, that those artists will tag me, and
Oh,
then
okay.
so they're watching. So the kids watch everything. They
Right.
know they know the DJ, they know the producer, they know the sound engineer who's traveling with them.
It's a
Like,
lot easier, and now you can like with social media, like they can see your life, like up your down
yeah,
your time, not like your
uh,
everyday life, but they get to see what you're doing. Like today, I post a video about me talking about lighting. You know what I'm saying? They get to see that. Like they didn't get to see
yeah,
that before. You weren't that close to people.
right, and yeah. So it's made social media. There's two ways to use it. There's an ugly way of using it that a lot of people unfortunately do use it in the ugly way. I'm choosing to use it in a completely different way.
Mhm.
Though I personally think is the right way. I do not like negative shit on my feed. If people start posting negative shit on my feed, then I just completely take them out. Um, you know, I was never a fan of like world star hip hop.
Mm.
Uh, Never was. I'm never a fan of those scandal type websites, like the TMZs and the.
Shade room. You ever heard of the shade room?
I've heard of it, but again, if it falls into the category that I'm talking about, then I will not entertain it or give it a hit.
Right.
Um, Even in the Spanish market, there's a few of them that I've snipped because it's like I see that they're just promoting the negative shit,
Right.
and
Yep.
they're getting the hits off the negative shit. And I'd rather get less hits off my positive shit than get a million and 2 million and 3 million hits
Right.
off a negative nonsense. Because I could easily be a gossip podcast if I want to, because I'm in the game. So I could tell
Right.
you, oh, this person did this person did
Right.
that, this person, you know what I'm saying? But then I just be like Takashi 6ix9ine, just be snitching on everybody,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Which is whack too,
Then
So
that'll hurt your brand too, because then a lot of people are, oh, I can't
yeah,
work
no,
with him.
that's not the type of stuff I want to do, and I see a lot of corny influences. I'm sorry.
There's a lot
I
out
see
there.
corny influences that they're getting famous off being as super corny as possible. People be like, oh, yo, why are you ragging on people? Yo, man, because our job as a human being is to make the world a better place. And you're not making the world a better place by selling garbage.
Yep.
And what I mean by selling garbage is by, feeding people a bunch of nonsense that's making them, just think that the world is horrible,
Right.
and it's whack to me. So to all you people out there, all those freaking fake ass, Instagrammers and all that doing stupid ass shit, if I see one more person, wearing a freaking dress, you know what I'm saying, trying to be funny, you know what I mean, and like, you're taking away the masculinity of people, you know what I'm saying? Like, leave the dresses for the transvestites that really live that life, that are really
Right.
trying to make a difference for that culture.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Instead of having
You know
people
what I'm
laugh
saying?
at it.
Yeah, instead of people laughing at it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yo, there's people out there that really have to live that life, and you're making it a whole lot harder for those people. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Harder for
So
people to take them serious when people are doing stuff like that.
yeah, man. So dude, man, you opened up a can of worms, and
Yeah, no, that's so then we have you're working through 11 years, you're at 2020, 11 years in, and then COVID happened. This is the biggest changed in the world for you since your career, and how did it affect anything, if it did affect anything?
Well, I tell you, like when COVID hit, it was like I didn't get scared. First and foremost, I'm gonna say that right now.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get scared and I didn't get worried, because I do realize that those two things, that doesn't solve any problems anyway.
Yeah.
We're a solution based type of people. I surround myself around solution based, you
Mhm.
know. So if you sit around worrying like, oh my God, it's you're gonna freak out, and then that's it.
Right.
So I did the responsible thing. Me and Carlos, my business partner, we talked about it. We're like, okay, so we're gonna shut down for 2 months. So we shut down. I remember I went to Colorado State University for a speaking engagement, came back, had one more video, and then after that, shut it down
Mm.
for 2 months exactly,
Right.
from March 15 to May 15. We
Okay.
shut it down completely. And so during those 2 months, I was just kind of evaluating, saying, me and Carlos would talk about it, like, so what's our next move? Because what I saw is what's happening.
Mm.
Influx of even more content, of even
Right.
more videos,
Yeah.
of even more.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
so God, what he did was he was just preparing me those 2 months mentally to be like, get ready, because you about to get a tsunami.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Of work.
And them stimmies
And
was coming in too.
well, I mean, I unfortunately didn't,
No,
well,
I'm saying for the
to pay.
client. Yeah, for them to pay
Yeah,
you.
I mean, most of my clientele, like 95% of my clientele, is artists that are already signed or on, or
True. Yeah,
so
that's
they're not
a
they're,
fact.
they're, they're not getting stimulus.
You
You know
don't
what I'm
get no
saying? I mean,
stimmy.
if I do take and I do take up and coming artists. I don't say I don't,
Mhm.
because I do. But I like to take them that they have a real game plan and a real like idea of how this really works.
Instead of just
Yeah, I don't just snatch money from them and be like, all right,
right.
I'm gonna give you money. I don't care. Take your video. Get the hell out of here. I'm not that guy. And thank God that I was able to get to that point where I could say, listen, yes, I could take your money, but I don't feel comfortable taking your money,
Mm.
because I want you to have money to expand your career. So, they'll, all the time I get calls, hey, how much for a video? And, they'll send me a song, and the song's great.
Right.
The song's fantastic. And I'm like, all right, Papa, so what are we going to do here? Like, well, listen, I got like, I'm just throwing a number. I got 10,000. I said, okay, what do you have after? Like, what do you mean? I'm like, marketing. What's the plan? What are you doing? Like, do you realize how much it costs to do this, this, and that? And when some of them, they didn't even realize. They thought it was just put the video up on YouTube and
And it
have
just
a nice day. And I'm like, nah.
yep.
So honestly, I just tell them like, look, I tell you what, you have two options, and this is what I do again. We're up and coming. I say I'll lower mine, so you'll have left over, so
Mm.
that way you can try to have a return on your investment, or at least see that you're gonna have and build a fan base off it.
Right. That's
Most
dope.
people don't do that, but I do. Do I
Mhm.
get a lot of shit for it? Yes, I do. Because people will be like, yo, you messing up the game. I'm
Right.
like, okay, well, I'm telling you right now, I'm living proof. I got the most repeat customers, because
Mm.
I got repeat customers. They
Mhm.
keep coming back. Why? Because I don't count people's pockets. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? I'm not counting their pockets. Oh, that guy got mad bread. Yo, nah. What's your plan of attack?
Right.
What's your plan of attack? How are you going to get your music heard? How are you going to get it marketed?
Right.
There's so many times where I just, do this. Listen, go to this company for your Spotify, go to this company for your YouTube,
Yep.
or I'll show them myself. Be like, yo, do it like this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Exactly. And that's
um,
why I tell people too, with videos and anything, like you said, I always tell people, if you're gonna go and get a video, make sure you can buy two videos, because the other half is going straight to marketing, like you said.
look, right now, here's my advice. Have 12 joints ready. Now, that doesn't mean 12 videos.
Mhm.
But out of those 12 joints, make sure 6 are videos.
Mhm.
And the other 6, is like the in-between songs. So like you drop a video, next month drop a song. Drop a video, next month you have a whole year's worth of music that you're putting out, but you have to promote every single one so the
Right.
numbers are looking healthy and you're actually consistently growing. You
Right.
drop a video, let's say today, June 7th, and you don't drop another one to December 7th, you did absolutely nothing. You
Yeah.
basically started from zero. No, you need to have something followed up ready, and ready after that, and ready after that, and ready after that, and ready after that. If you don't have those, ducks in a row, then you're wasting your time.
So what you
Listen,
Mhm.
we're working on a project. We have a project that we've been working on for the last year
Mm.
with big artists. I'm
Right.
DJ Khaled in the game, basically.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, we have. So what we're doing is like we're collecting all the songs. We're getting all the paperwork right, so the masters, and everything are ours. We're
Yep.
doing all the videos, and guess what? Now we go to a label. We're like, here you go.
Mm.
We have everything ready for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so they're looking at like, guys, these guys did all the work for us. Great. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you know, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So having everything ready as opposed to not having everything ready.
So then when you say doing like a video and then a song and then a video, how important are albums these days for upcoming artists? Do you think they should more so focus on singles and videos, doing it
It's
that way?
it's a single based market right now. There's no reason for artists to be dropping albums right now.
Mm,
Not right now. There's no need to. For new artists.
right.
Now, once you're established and you obviously okay, super insane popping,
Right.
Bad Bunny status, you know what I'm saying, then yeah, go ahead,
Mm,
drop the albums, but there's no point in doing that. And if at the end of the year you want to collectively put it together and say, hey, it's an album now, well, guess what? Those Spotify streams that you caught actually count. Who
yep.
knows? You might end up with a plaque low key.
Right. Put them all together. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how artists do it sometimes, man. They'll drop singles all year and then they put it all together as an album. Guess what? The album's automatically gold already.
Right. Exactly. Because that one record
Yeah.
was gold. So
Yeah. So, that's a trick. But it's just, you think about what you're competing against as an artist. Think
right.
about it. You're competing against other artists, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not competing for as again like other artists. You're competing for the attention of people.
Exactly. Yep.
The attention span
Popularity
is getting
contest.
small. Yeah, it's getting smaller and smaller. Have you noticed a little trend going on? Tell me I'm bugging. One hook, one verse, one hook, song done.
It's crazy you say that. My man just sent me a song and had
Yeah.
a hook, verse, hook, verse, hook. And I was like, bro, shit's too long. They ain't gonna, you gotta take that verse out and just leave it. One verse, two hooks, boom, done.
And the reason why that trend is catching on is because it's leaving people to repeat the stream on
Yep.
Spotify.
Exactly.
So it's causing repeat streams. It's like a hack.
Yep.
It's like, yo, that hook is so dope. I want to hear it again. Bah, turn it back
Yep.
around. You know what I mean? It's like when DJs in the club, used to spinning it back
Yep.
for a reason because they just want to hear that part.
Yep.
So that's what they're doing, and I think it's brilliant. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
I think it's genius.
in the streaming space, that's so important to have a good playback feature. If it's too long, they're like,
Yeah,
okay, I heard it already. Like, I don't want to listen to that whole thing again.
yeah. Not until you get established. And
Right.
again, what better time is it for an independent artist? You don't even got to work as hard in the studio. You mean all I got to do is I could do a hook and a fucking verse right now for you in front of you, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like, all right, let's get it done. You know what I mean? Like
Nowadays, it's more so the person than the product. Like people will listen to the song because of the person, not because of the song.
right.
And that comes with Instagram and just people wanting to be that person they see looking good on the internet.
Yeah, but we need to find a balance where the music is good
Right.
and the person is good.
Right. Exactly.
Not to use Takashi as an example, you know what I mean? But I mean, shit, man. Like, I mean, he's such a, yeah, well,
He knows how to get attention. I'll tell you that.
yeah, he knows how to get attention. You know what I mean? But his music has always been horrendous,
Right.
horrendous music,
Uh-huh.
and he's one of those that definitely is just destroying our youth,
Right. And the game.
period.
Kind of fucking up the game too, but
You know,
that's another
like,
story.
yeah. So, but yeah, man,
Yeah, no,
that's
that's
the,
so you did. So I did notice you have a videography, photography studio. Do you have a, is that your studio that you guys have in there with a bunch of different rooms and lights and
yeah, yes. We coincidentally during the pandemic, that was part of the reassessing everything, and we we weren't really looking, but we were looking. You understand what I'm saying? Like there was
right,
something that was always in the back of the head. And so we actually tried partnering up with different studios and, it wouldn't work out. And not because people were bad or anything like that. It's just that our vision is our vision. You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
And that's just the way it is. And so sometimes visions clash. That doesn't mean that they're bad. It's just, okay, that's okay. It doesn't work out. Hey, I love you. You know what I mean? And
exactly.
that's okay. But uh it was June last year and we were doing a bunch of videos and we realized that, yo, we just spent $8,000 on location fees because that's what we do.
And out the
We'll put it
space.
in the budget and we'll rent out the space. So it was like collectively, it was like 8 grand that we were
Wow.
spending just on location fees. And then you were tired because we got to break down the sets and set up. All that takes
Your own
time.
equipment and lighting, and you got to set all that up and take it back.
Right. So and then the customer service wasn't actually the friendliest either.
Mm-hmm.
I used to always say that. I'm like, yo, why, like, you have a studio, you just throw us in there and not give a shit about us. So I used to get angry about that shit. So July comes and my business partner was actually looking for a warehouse for his wife for her business, but it
Okay.
was a little bit too big. And so he FaceTimes me and he's like, check this place out. And I looked at it on FaceTime. I'm like, where's that at? He's like, dude, it is literally 2 minutes away from where you're building your house right now. Because I build a new house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no way. I'm like, I'll be right there. So
Mm-hmm.
I drove down here. I walked in. I looked at it. It was brand new. We're the first ones to walk in there,
Wow.
and it was like I just saw it, and I'm like, me and Carlos looked at each other, and about an hour later, we were like, all right, call them up, we'll take it, and then we
Wow.
had it up, and then we did our first music video August 15 there with actually Jay Wheeler, which is a gigantic Spanish artist right now. So he was our first music video there.
That's
And then after that night, uh, Sesh, who's another big gigantic
mm-hmm.
artist, showed up out of nowhere just to be there.
Wow.
And then the place got flooded with just a bunch of people, influential people,
Uh-huh.
and DJ Nelson and everything. And then the gram started going crazy. Oh my God, where's this? And they started tagging the studio, Secret Art Studios, Secret Art Studios, Secret Art Studios. The best grand opening ever.
And
But
that's
it's not
going
really
back
in
to
a
social
grand.
media.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We didn't even, and it wasn't planned. It was
Right.
just like, we're here working. That's it.
That's crazy.
So yeah, we haven't had to spend not one single dollar on ads for that place. Everything has been word of mouth.
And that's honestly, that kind of inspired me as well, seeing that, because that's something that I'm not going to get into too much details of it, but that's something that in that space that I aspire of like doing. So seeing that and knowing, you know what I'm saying, you got family that I'm really close with, and just seeing someone that comes from, not obviously not from Allentown, but you're from that space, and just seeing that being possible inspired me as well. So I love
I mean,
that.
no, I'm from Allentown, bro. Like, I was born in the Bronx, but I tell people I'm from
Okay, good.
Allentown.
Okay, good.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. I was born in the Bronx, but if people tell me who made me, it was Allentown.
Mm,
You know what I mean? I'm very clear about that because um, Allentown made me a man.
mm.
Yeah, I was married there. I had my family there. My first child there, or both of them. Um, and then of course tons of friends.
Right.
And yeah, so no, Allentown definitely made me who I am. So I owe a lot to Allentown.
Yeah. Shout out to Allentown, man.
I have a graffiti piece. I have a graffiti piece in the studio,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a big fist, and I have a whole bunch of positive quotes
Mm,
within the fist. And the guy that did it was Heck, and he used to own the not own but manage the sneaker villa in Bethlehem. And
okay.
he's the one that spray painted it. He was the graffiti artist,
Wow.
and so I had him do it, and then I had in there embedded. It still says 610.
That's fire.
Even though I'm still in Orlando, I recognize where I'm from.
That's dope because a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, get to a certain level and don't even, I know a couple athletes, football players, basketball players in the NBA, NFL, they rep, you know what I'm saying, where they were born for only lived for 2 years of their life. And then Allentown raised them and they just claim in that city and say, bro, you ain't even from there. Like, and that's why I respect that you keep that 610 strong with you.
Because I want people, especially the young people, that there is a way out. Like that, here I am. I'm gonna tell my age right now, but I'm about to be 46 years old. I started in this music business relatively late. I started at 34. So starting in the music business at 34, usually you don't see any type of success.
Right.
At least that's what the cliche is.
That's
And I broke the mold. I
Mhm.
broke it. I tore it down. I said, nope, you can be. You can be successful. You can make something of yourself. You can see and be and see some beautiful things around this world, but you have to really believe. And just the only thing that I could say negative, and I don't like talking negative about Allentown, but because it's a beautiful community as far as like when they come together, they do come together.
Right.
But when they're apart, they're apart. Does that make any sense to you?
I'm from there and I've been there my whole life, and it makes perfect sense on how you like, that's because it's like people won't even know they beefing. That's how it gets. Like, you don't even know you beefing. It's like you just don't like what he's doing because he don't like what he's doing, and it just is all funnels down into that negativity.
Right. Yeah, and so that's what needs to happen. Like, just if people was to realize, like, yo, I'll use right now. I'm gonna use LG Years as an example. I like that kid.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use LG Years as an example. If people were to champion that kid, be like, you know what? He's gonna be the one that's gonna put Allentown in a certain map. There was another artist that I saw, but I don't see him repping Allentown at all. You know what I mean?
He like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he just doesn't. LG, on the other hand, I do see that he be repping that 610 heavy. So, because he's doing that, I feel like the community should wrap himself around him and like, yo, let's make him the star, for now. You know what I mean? And he's gonna be able to open the doors for other people. Not meaning that he is responsible for opening doors. Please understand this, what I'm about to say. Okay? He's not physically responsible for it. But the world is going to see Allentown. And when now the name Allentown or 610, Bethlehem, Easton, whatever, the whole 610 area, they're going to know, okay, there's a guy that came from here. There must be more.
Right. Exactly.
There must be more. Yeah. So that's the problem. People want to be, they'll cut throat to be number one instead of saying, you know what, I'm not going to cut throat to be number one. I'm a champion this dude because somebody got to be number one first. And so if it takes him to do it, put your ego to the side, put your pride to the side, and do it. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like a lot of people do, and I feel like it is getting to that point, but I feel like a lot of people only do it because they feel like they have to. I feel like when you do things out of a pure, you know what I'm saying, you're purely doing it out of your heart, like, I'm gonna support this guy, see what's going on. I'm gonna take him to the next level in my eye. Whatever I can do to take you to the next level, I'm gonna do that. But a lot of people are doing it only because they see other people doing it. I feel like it feels more pure things, like people seeing like, yo, this kid got it, and let's put our all into this. Then I feel like it would. I feel like it would have been happening, but it's happening. It's happening right now, and I see
Yeah,
that it's going to open really soon because every video
I've
getting
been I see numbers that I wasn't used to seeing, and that's because people are following the marketing formulas. Like,
yeah.
let me spend a little money on marketing. So people are learning
Mm-hmm.
and people are listening. So that's good. Um, there's a kid out in North Carolina. I don't know if you heard of him. His name is Moray. Have you heard of the artist named Moray yet?
I love Moray.
Huh? Yo, he's dope.
Yep.
Because why did he blow up? The community championed that
Yep.
kid.
Mm-hmm.
His town in, was it Fayetteville?
Yep.
Fayetteville, North Carolina,
Cool.
championed him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, here we go.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He's the one now. You know what I'm saying? We need another one. Here he is,
Exactly.
So Allentown, man, Bethlehem, Easton, Reading, Northeast PA, whatever. Somebody got to be the one. So if you see somebody getting a little bit more love than you are, don't hate on it. Actually be like, yo, let me push him. What can I do to help your cause?
They got to understand that that's good. Like the thing is that it's good that somebody's getting attention. It could be anybody. It could be a little dweeb on the corner of fucking whatever street. You know what I'm saying? As long as that person out of our town is getting the attention, that means we're all getting the attention. The town is getting attention.
Yeah, man. Another kid that I enjoy, he's not a kid, you know what I mean? He's a grown man, you know what I mean? But, everybody's a kid of mine. It's Suave, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Suave is, and I'm a fan of that kid. And he did things he was the first, I think, to break 1 million on YouTube.
Yeah.
When he did that joint with Breezy.
Yeah.
So, and I correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I believe he was the first one to be on the BET Jams TV thing or whatever.
From what I know, I think he was too.
So, but and people be like, "Oh, he paid for that." Right, as you probably should.
Game.
Like, what you think? Motherfuckers get on TV for free? Nah,
right.
Like, yo, like you gotta pay for that marketing.
Right.
He paid for that. No shit, Sherlock.
Right.
Like, he gotta pay for it. Congratulations. He put his money where his mouth was.
And that's what people
supposed to do.
And it's so terrible that people think that way. People think that just because you're paying, like even when people get millions of views, he paid for ads. That's what these labels are doing. That's what everybody is doing. Like, why would you not pay for other people to see you? It's not like you paying for fake bots. That's real people seeing your video.
Son, you drink Coke?
I only drink water. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay, but for the sake of this argument,
yes, I drink Coke.
You drank Coke, right?
Yes.
Okay. You drank a Budweiser?
Yes.
In your life? Okay. Guess what? The Super Bowl. People pay the retarded amount of monies. Pepsi, Coors Light, whatever. They pay to get what? Advertisement. Even though everybody in the fucking world knows who the hell they are. You know what I mean? Why in God's green earth are you paying advertising money for beer that people drink anyway during the Super Bowl?
Exactly.
Why are you paying for it? You don't need to pay for ads anymore.
Right.
But they still do it.
But that's why they're still relevant.
Yeah. So, artists, you gotta pay for ads. You know what I'm saying? Businesses, inspiring podcasts, podcasters, let's say, YouTubers. YouTubers pay marketing money as well.
Yep.
To get their thing going. I'm gonna start doing it eventually. Like I said, I'm doing this little thing on Instagram. I see where it's going. I like where it's going. I'm gonna morph it into the YouTube space. And best believe I'm gonna go, here's $1,000. I'm gonna put it on here. Here's $1,000. I'm gonna put it on here.
You know what's crazy? I try to look up that, and this is now I feel like we're just getting into I'm getting into conversation. I got comfortable, so now it's like I've gotten to a spot where I was like, I'm gonna try to do YouTube ads behind my podcast videos, but it always gets flagged because I'm cursing, and I don't want to censor my content. So what do you say to artists and people in that space?
You have to censor, man, unfortunately, bro. Like, look, I have trouble editing videos now. These big artists, you know, I'll do the video. I'll give you an example. The video that's coming out this Friday.
Mm-hmm.
The song is literally called in Spanish "Without Clothes." You know what I'm saying? Like, so I had to, number one, make the cleanest video possible talking about without clothes, you know, sin ropa,
Right.
you know. And you got 7 gigantic artists on it, you know what I mean? Like 7 multi-platinum retarded artists on
That's crazy.
it.
7.
And yeah, it's insane. And so but the funny thing is that I had to clean up the video as much as possible so it wouldn't get flagged, because even 7 big artists on it, they're still putting marketing money on it.
Right.
And
Exactly.
it's still, and so if I don't do it, it will get flagged.
Yep.
So I have to be mindful. Everything that I do now, why you think it's not a coincidence that Anuel's and all the other artists are making way cleaner music. You know what I mean? They're
Right.
making way cleaner music
Bad.
videos and stuff because you have to do it. Like you have to, you know, not get flagged for the ads,
And
man.
I tell my people
So
now, everybody that does music, I always tell them, make sure, regardless, you leave that session, you make sure the engineer knows that you need a clean version and an explicit version, like regardless.
yeah. Now, by the way, cursing does it won't get flagged. What it is that you just not gonna be monetized for certain ads. You still
Mhm.
will be monetized for some ads. So yes, you for explicit language, you still can do ads. Yes, you
Really?
can. Yes,
We're
you
gonna
can.
have to talk about
100%.
that.
Yeah. You can do it. You literally can research it. You know, actually, I think I screenshot. I'm on the phone on here,
Mhm.
but I screenshotted it. You know, an adult language is allowed now. Once you start talking about, not talking, but showing sexually explicit content,
Mhm.
that's when they really go not chill. But you know, so
So is this
like
what you're targeting?
obviously, yeah. So like you're gonna be this. They're just gonna like not put your ad on. You won't have like a my first, you know, Fisher Price toy commercial
Right.
coming up on your on your
The
video. You know what I'm
video, right?
saying? Like, you know, but you know, but you
Oh
might get
man.
something else. You know what I'm saying? You know
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, so you can do it. Yeah, you can.
So I did want to ask you, and you don't have to go into this if you don't want to. Um, I remember we had a conversation, and if you want, I can edit this part out too. But we had a conversation
Yeah.
one time. I went to your house and did a video shoot when I was living in Florida, and you expressed to me about some mental health things that you deal with that I feel like I deal with myself. Now, oh shit, I
Oh,
lost you.
no, I'm here. I'm
All right.
here.
So now, is that something, because it's something I feel like is important for people to know, that you reach a certain success and you still deal with real life things. So now, is that
Right.
something that, now tell me, is that something you want to comfortable talking about, and then we can move forward?
I've moved. I talk about this publicly, and I think it's healthy to talk about it because there's people that um need to hear it. You know, I've been suffering from, you know, anxiety, panic, and depression since 1999.
Mm,
You know, there's bouts that I've had since then. You know what I
mm,
mean? You know, it's funny. I had a panic attack today. You know what I mean?
wow.
Like, um, that's part of the reason why I have animals. I got dogs. You know what I mean? Because they keep
Mhm.
me calm. But it's 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 something that I've learned to deal with, and I just didn't let it defeat me. At one point, it almost did. At
Mm,
one point, it almost did. Back when I first started getting it, because I didn't understand it.
right.
But once I started understanding how to deal with it, once I started understanding on how to cope with it, and also find people that understand
Right. Mm,
what you're going through. See, here's the thing: is that the person that you're closest to may not be the person that understands. And
yep.
that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. So, you know, people tend to get frustrated. Oh, they should understand. They're the closest to me. They don't, because they know what's going on in your head. So you got to
Right.
find people that do understand what you're going through. and be a little bit more sympathetic with the things that you're going through mentally. Um, my mental things, it's funny, is I have a hard time relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hardest thing for me to do. I am always on go mode. It is very difficult for me to take a vacation. Like, so it takes me, this is dead serious. If I'm taking a 10-day vacation, about 5 of those days is me catching panic attacks about taking a vacation.
Wow.
And then the other 5 days I get to enjoy.
Right.
But that's what usually happens with me. It's like, because my body doesn't know how to shut down. My brain doesn't know how to shut down. People that are in the creative world, I notice that musicians, anybody, let's just say entertainment, period.
Right.
We definitely suffer more. We suffer a hell of a lot more because
a lot harder on ourselves.
Because we're a lot harder on ourselves, and we're just laying out our vulnerabilities out. You know what I mean? When like at first, I'm putting out videos, and your first thing you think, oh, I wonder what people are gonna think.
Yep, exactly.
Like, man, I hope they like it. I hope they love it. And that's telling me that's not a lot of pressure and a lot of stress.
And then now correct too.
Yeah, and then now my stress is, okay, I'm already held up here. You know what I'm saying? I'm already held up to a certain echelon, and now I got to maintain that.
Right.
And so, thank God I have a team. Thank God, I have people around me. But if I was doing this shit by myself, hell no, man, this thing would suck.
Yeah, and it's so important though to have conversations about mental health, because honestly, me, like you said, it's crazy you said that, because I never noticed that. And some of my triggers are when I'm tired or when I'm hungry. Things I have to slow down to do is when my anxiety, like my shit is out the roof. Like so I'm at a space where it's now like, it was a joke, but now it's serious, and I need to take it more serious. And yeah, I never thought of that though. Like you said, like it happens like when you have to slow down, like you don't like slowing down. And now that it makes a lot of sense. Like,
yeah,
I'm glad that you answered that. That was dope.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. See, I helped you out. And hopefully other people too.
Yeah, because a lot of people just see the final product. Like people be like, "Oh, your reviews are great." Like for me, your reviews are great, and I'm sure for you, oh, your videos are great. But they don't even understand the work you put into your videos, and then on top of that, the work that you have to deal with mentally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real. And again, this goes back to, we are willing to do things that most people aren't. I've sacrificed like so much. Right. I've sacrificed an insane amount of my time, of my family's time, being away, financial, scare, because it hasn't always been Gucci. You know what I mean? It hasn't always been straight. It hasn't always been like, oh, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Riding around in a new truck. Oh, nah. There's been times like, hold on. Like, it's getting a little bumpy here. It's getting a little bumpy here. But that's all right. We get through it.
And then this is my last question here, and I appreciate you sticking with me this long. I know you're a busy man.
No doubt.
This is my last question here. So you mentioned team, because a lot of people think, what I'm saying, they can do it themselves, or, oh, I know how to do this, so I'm gonna do it. Oh, I know how to do this, so I'm gonna do it. How important to you is a team in this game? Entertainment. Why not? Video?
Dude, I've never met an artist do it by himself. Every artist that I've seen attain a level of success is because they have an incredible team behind them. Same thing with me. I have an amazing business partner. I have an amazing team behind me. And I say behind me with respect, because to be honest with you, they're behind me, in front of me, and the side of me.
Right.
A lot of them take leadership roles that, there's been times you'll see a Jack Nine film. I wasn't there.
Wow.
I wasn't there. I'm like, you know what? You're going to direct this one. I'm out. Because Jack Nine Films is the company. Everybody calls me Jack by default, but to be honest with you, my name is Josh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my real name, you know.
Mm,
So Jack Nine Films has morphed into a company, a
mm,
full blown company. So I no longer have to be at every single thing. I can dish out work to other people and be like, hey, you're responsible for this project. I'll take responsibility for this project. Hey, you're going to be the lead on this project.
wow.
And that's what I wanted. So, but I had to learn how to trust. See, the problem is that when we get attached to something, this is our baby. Oh man, nah, nobody could do it like I can.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, all you got to do is just mentor people so they be able to do it the way you do it.
Yeah.
You know, I go up. Listen, I can go to a set. I'll show up late sometimes,
Mm.
like meaning like director late, not artist late. I'm talking director late,
Right.
meaning like, hey, listen, I'm gonna be running a little late, guys. Just have the set ready, put the camera on standby, have the 50 millimeter lens on 1.2, blah blah. Like tell them all the specs that I want. Hey,
Mhm.
you already saw the treatment. You know where the lighting needs to be, and when I get there, everything is set up for me. All I gotta do is just literally pick up the camera and I'm go.
Wow.
Like that's streamlined. On
That's
like
the important thing.
they know what I'm going to like before I even get there.
Wow. That's amazing to have like
Yeah.
people that were, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you mentor them to your liking or even what they, you know what I'm saying? Cause I'm sure, I don't know if I'm sure, but you have people on your team that, you know what I'm saying? You guys go back and forth about things like maybe this will look good, maybe this will look good. Or is it just you write the whole shit out and boom, this is how we doing it?
What you know, sometimes we write it together.
Mm,
You know, like we write it together. And you know, I usually, you know, we have a base idea
mhm,
of what it is. You know, we have the treatment, and then you know, let's say example, my lighting guy. You know what I'm saying? You're like, hey, you know, Jonathan, here's what it is. You see how the scene is supposed to go. And he'll go, boop, 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 put the lights, the colors, everything the way I want it. I
that's
don't I let and then if he wants to add his own little sauce or flavor,
mhm,
go ahead. That's your
wow,
free range. I'm not
mhm,
because he's an artist too. So
right,
you know the lighting guy's an artist. You know what I mean? The focus puller is an artist. You know the art director is an artist. You know the director is an artist. The
mhm,
assistant director is an artist. Everybody here is an artist.
right,
So you got to be able to pull back and trust. So now for artists, meaning like artists as in musicians, rappers, you know, singers, you guys got to be able to, you know, trust, you know, whoever's producing you, you know, and that they're giving you, and you know, it's like when Biggie, for example, when Biggie, you know, first started, he's like, I didn't want to come out with Juicy,
right,
like that was the first single.
yeah,
He's like, yo, I hated that record,
mhm,
but he trusted Diddy
mhm,
so much and he had so much faith in Diddy, saying, "You know what? I'm gonna do what you say because I trust you."
right.
And I mean, we all know
Shit went
what
out
how
went
this.
out crazy.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So at one point, you're gonna have to take that leap of faith and trust somebody to be a part of your team, and also let them be their team role. You
Right.
know, and trust them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You gotta trust your point guard. You gotta trust your forward. You gotta trust your, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The coach. You gotta trust. You know what I mean? Don't trust the ref though. But anyway, but yeah, bro, that's it, man.
Wow, man.
I'm good.
That's amazing to just build a team. And I mean, so y'all right here, we got Jack Nine Films and started out with a camera, a dusty camera on the floor to have all
Hold
the
on. I still have it. Hold on.
oh shit, here we go.
I still
You
got.
get to see the
Yo,
first
yo, yo.
camera.
Yeah. I
Wow,
still got
no
it.
way.
Yeah, I still
Oh
got it,
my
bro.
God.
It was tape. I don't even think this thing ejects anymore. Yeah, it does.
Wow. That's dope.
I actually keep it in the office like a trophy.
Right. No, that's fine. To come from that to having one of the best quality videos in the game, man, and to have billions of streams behind your videos, like that's good to see from where we're from, and even people that's not from our town, being from a small town like that, and just to see where you can go, like you built your own damn house, like it's just like y'all. We were on a call and he gave me an MTV cribs of his crib and it's beautiful, And it's just like, I just want to say, man, like, you're doing your thing. I respect what you're doing, man. You're inspiring a lot of people. And we just respect you from the town. Like, I'll speak for the whole town, man. We respect what you're doing, and just keep going, leveling up with these inspiring videos too. Like, even that, man, that's something
Yeah,
big for us to all see. Even you might just feel like you're just doing it, but to other people, man, it's inspiring and big for us. So we
no
appreciate it.
doubt. That's what's up, my bro. I appreciate you, man. God bless your family. You know what I'm saying? Wifey and all the kids, and
I appreciate it.
everybody in Allentown. I love you. All right.
Same to you, man, and have a good one.
All right.
Thank you for joining. This is Jack 9. My name is AC, and we are in tuned.